Some years ago, Guy bought me a Slaters Quarry Hunslet kit, which has lain dormant for a very long time, and I finally thought I'd do something about it. And I've got to opening the box and playing with a few bits, and I thought I would have a go at some smoke on this, just for the fun of it. And this is an experiment. All these things are, aren't they? And this is water vapor, and it's done with one of these things, and that's the little driving board from it, all from eBay. I think these are about £3 from eBay, and I've printed up a case to hold it and form a reservoir. And what I'm doing now is the first plug it up and see how long this goes chuff for, how many minutes duration of capacity I've got. Obviously this is just blowing constantly at the moment. It isn't going chuff. That's another issue. I think I know how I'm going to do that, but that's a slightly different story. But meanwhile, that's the product of this little atomizer. Just in case anyone's wondering, there is no fan attached to that. That is simply the atomizer properly placed underneath the bottom of the chimney with the wick, and that's sort of the wick. That's the full length one as supplied. I've just chopped 3/4 of an inch, a 3/4 of an inch length of that going into the printed holder and reservoir combined thing that I've made. And it's centered, the output, as it were, is centered under the chimney. And this is the natural result. And that is at 4.1 volts. Now, the 4.1 volts is interesting because the LiPo batteries one uses for radio control put out about 4.2 volts. So this is what one would get outputting direct from a LiPo battery, which is quite promising, with no fans involved. Now that, the downside to that is this is taking 1/4 of an amp, 0.24. Don't know if we can see that. That's what it's consuming at the moment. So, it's quite a thirsty fishy, as all smoke units tend to be. But if I can get a big enough battery, it'll make that usable and worthwhile. Also, of course, when one syncs it with beats, the average ampage used is going to drop somewhat, whereas this is constant, for want of a better word. So that's very reasonable. We'll see how this experiment goes. Oh, incidentally, the smoke box comes as a solid resin casting, and all that was hollowed out by little mills in drills kind of thing. The chimney as well had to be hollowed out and all sorts. So there's a fair amount of work to make space for this to happen. It isn't quite straight out the packet, but you know, it's useful, and I'm hoping that the reservoir I've got in there will last a good while, but we'll see.